general, they throw bodies at the problem. They'll open humongous service centers in the US or in foreign countries, and it's incredibly cumbersome and it's tough to run. And on top of that, it means that you don't achieve economies of scale. As your revenue grows, your expense grows in lockstep. And we're trying to buck that trend.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast. Today, we have got none other than Marc Frenkel. Marc, tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. Hey, Todd. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm the CFO of Coterie Insurance. And we're an insurance MGA, which is to say that we manufacture, underwrite, and sell insurance policies. Now, this is an industry that is incredibly mature. Nearly every nook and cranny of the insurance market has been penetrated by somebody. But Coterie was founded on the premise that there is a humongous ocean of value to be captured at the very micro end of small commercial insurance. So this is selling insurance, GL policies, general liability, property policies to the smallest of the smallest businesses in America. And begs the question, why is that opportunity there? Why is the value chain in the market broken such that this opportunity exists? So
that's where I'm going.
Think about if you're an insurance agent, you're paid on a commission basis based on the dollar amount of the premium you generate. So you're generating 15%. Would you rather go after a $25,000 policy or after a $1,500 policy?
Exactly.
That's exactly right. So
the 25. Yeah, no, I mean, that's why nobody's hitting this small outskirt business model you're going for.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you've got tremendous under penetration across the smallest of the small businesses in America. And they need insurance as much as anyone else does. You know, things happen in their stores, and insurance serves a commercial good for those types of businesses. On the other hand, insurance companies want to sell this insurance. How do you incentivize insurance salespeople to go after small business? That's where Coterie was born.
Pay them higher commissions.
or it comes down to really think about it as commission per time spent. If it's going to take you 5 hours to underwrite a small commercial policy, and you're only going to make $180, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nope.
But now let's say that process takes 5 minutes. Now how do you look at it?
Okay.
And that's what Coterie does. Coterie has...
I'd take $200 for 5 minutes.
Exactly. You can now go from making $40 an hour to making in the thousands per hour if you look at how quick the whole thing.
Right.
So that's what we do.
So Coterie is a tech product. It's a tech integration of some sort, right?
It is at its core, an automatic underwriting platform where if you're an insurance agent, you just enter in the legal name and address for any given small business customer. And then we access the modern data economy to pull all the data required to underwrite that policy. It runs through our engine. And in seconds, we can make an underwriting decision, return that to the agent, a bindable quote, and the agent can bind that policy. The whole thing can take 5 minutes. And because the data as well is brought in from third party, unbiased, more accurate, there's no gamification, adverse selection, there's no kind of tweaking what you want to say to the insurance company. Everything is objective. So it's faster and more accurate. And it's providing a means for insurance agents around the country to go after business that otherwise was not worth their time. And now they're going after it hand over fist.
And how does that affect a small insurance broker who is trying to get their contracts and get their book of business bigger with different insurance companies? How does this affect their ability to work with one or two companies as opposed to, can you just plug in your preferences? Like I wanted to pull quotes from these 3 companies or whatever, or does it just go out and search for everything? Best deal for these guys.
So we are the insurance product. We've created the insurance product, and we empower brokers to sell our product. So it's really simple.
Cool.
We provide the means of underwriting these policies extremely efficiently, and then we sell our product into that process.
Love it. Okay, that's very smart. That's a smart play. I love it.
Yeah, it's great because we speak to our agent base around the country, and they're basically finding nickels in the couch cushions. They're finding commission that otherwise they wouldn't have gone after. People come into their office, they would have turned them away, saying it's frankly not worth my time to take on this account. But now they're writing that policy. Everyone wins.
Well, and the crazy thing about that is, having run several small businesses myself, I know that whenever I call my insurance broker who does like all my stuff, he's always like, all right, what do we got now? How much? What do you need? What do you need? It's almost like it is a burden for him to want to take my insurance sometimes. But, is your client the companies, or is your client the small brokers?
Great question. We call ourselves a B2B2C company. So
Gotcha.
we sell into the insurance agencies of the US, and their mandate is to sell. So we're able to do call it the one-to-many sales approach, where we find people they're trying to sell all day anyway. They're trying to generate commission for themselves. We're giving them the means to generate more money for themselves and us at the same time. So it's a highly efficient sales funnel.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So now we know about your business, who it's for, what you're trying to do with this thing, and who you serve. Tell us about the business now. I mean, what has your growth journey been like? When did you guys start? Where are you guys at right now? Tell us a little bit about some highlights along that journey.
Yeah, so like many tech companies, we spent the first few years identifying the issue, identifying how tech can be created to solve the issue. And we realized again that the way to unlock this value is to create an automatic underwriting platform, and that took time. Right around in 2021, we were generating premium. In 2022, we started to really generate at scale. So we generated, call it 34 million of premium in 2022. And it was a great start. And product market fit is a beautiful thing.
I mean, look at that. You got T-shirts now. I mean, that says it all.
I mean, we must have made it. We have T-shirts, right?
You must have made it. That is awesome.
Yeah, and look, it's like product market fit is this beautiful concept, right? Because what does a startup do? A startup identifies a problem, gets capital, builds a solution, and hopes that solution is what the market had wanted all along, right?
Right.
It's like going to a party, and you bring your pasta dish and you put it down on the table, and you just stand there on the side. You're hoping everyone runs and takes a spoon. You're hoping someone tries it, and based on the look on their face, someone else runs over and takes a spoonful, and you're hoping that by the time 10 minutes pass, the whole thing is gone. That's
such a good analogy.
And that's kind of what we did. We identified what we thought was a humongous break in the value chain that was resulting in a humongous market being unpenetrated. And we I
want to thank you so much for listening to this episode, but I also want to take just a few seconds to let you know about a project that we've been putting together for the last several months, and we're finally launching it, called the Captain's Council. You see, as a CEO or operator of a business, it can feel like you get stuck in your own head a lot of the time. You get challenges that you don't know how to resolve. You get people causing problems in your leadership team that you don't know how to resolve. And it's so hard to overcome those things by yourself. You don't have to anymore. Join the Captain's Council. Captain's Council is a group of other CEOs and operators and owners of businesses where we come together once a month for several hours to discuss the biggest challenges you're facing. You express to the council of 8 to 10 people about what's going on. Where do you feel stuck? And these other people are in the same boat as you. They're running and operating their own businesses. They're your peers. They help you kind of dissect what's happening and help you see things that you may not have seen all by yourself. If you don't have a good, strong network of people around you, come join the Captain's Council. This is going to be something that will change the way you run your business and open your eyes to opportunities that you have never seen without the help of your peer group. Come check it out, captainscouncil.com. Well, I got to think that a lot of these smaller brokers are just loving this because, they're small and they're now able to they know other small businesses, but they just haven't really been able to service them. And they're all trying to go for the big fish. They're going for the whales. and they can't get the whales. And so this provides an amazing means for both you to grow, them to grow, and the poor small business to get the insurance they need. Otherwise, they just go naked, right? They're exposed.
Exactly. And it's, it's a win-win for everyone involved. I mean, we're literally taking, like, this is like GDP that would not have existed if not for Coterie, which is a really cool thing to think about.
Love it. All right, so 2022 is awesome. 2023, how are we shaping up?
So we've already, it's not even halfway through the year, we've already equaled last year's premium volume. We're on pace for, hey, it's fun. It's, but I'll tell you, you sell your first dollar, yay. Then you sell your first million, and then you see that, like, the growth is coming, the product market fit is there. Those sort of existential issues are now in the rearview mirror, but it gives way to more high class problems, which is how do we scale efficiently? How do we grow the company rapidly? How do we generate enough revenue to one day get us to a place where we are a fully sustainable business, while at the same time not sacrificing the service that our customers demand of us? We're growing by selling to agents. Those agents sell to customers, and the more and again, we're selling small policies, so there's a lot of them.
Right.
And we have to service all of them and service them efficiently. And it's
that is a burden.
Yeah, and a lot of it is not, it's not rocket science. It's someone wants to renew a policy. They want to add someone to their policy. They want to enlarge in their policy. They want to cancel a policy. They want to change the billing on their policy. They have a question on their coverage.
Right.
These are all little questions that come, whether it's a huge policy or a small policy. But our challenge, again, as a business, is that we're generating less revenue per policy, and therefore we have to figure out how to service the policy at a lower,
efficiently.
Exactly, a lower absolute dollar point, and that's where.
So I mean, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. I've had a couple of guys on my podcast already who are customer experience type specialists, and they are very passionate about this point. And to what you're trying to say right now, you have got to find ways to service efficiently, because it's the customer service that really builds your book. I mean, it's one thing to go get new acquisition and get new clients and stuff like that. But if the agents are seeing that people are dropping because these poor clients aren't getting any service, they're never going to refer you again.
That's exactly right. And the way it's been done, the way the insurance industry does this is they throw bodies at the problem. They'll open humongous service centers in the US or in foreign countries, and it's incredibly cumbersome and it's tough to run. And on top of that, it means that you don't achieve economies of scale. As your revenue grows, your expense grows in lockstep. And we're trying to buck that trend. So right now we're investing tremendous resources in automating, identifying all those individual interactions that policyholders will have with Coterie, and then automating them, creating self-service options for them, using RPA to address them. And we're very close. We're super closely tracking a metric, which is % of our total customer interactions that are handled through our automated methods. And as that number goes up, we know that we can keep on scaling revenue while adding a decelerating number of people to the team. And this is great for them too. For those people whose job it is to service policies, like they want to do the most complex, most interesting parts of their job all day. They don't want to change someone's credit card. That's not fun. They'll do it, but like they want to handle the real I want to add on to my store.
They want to handle claims.
Or handle claims. I mean, that's a separate department, but it's the same issues there. How do we scale the claims department efficiently? But they want to answer real questions and help real people, not just kind of do the menial stuff. And this is a means of empowering them to do more of the interesting work, so that it's just more fun to work at Coterie than it is to work at a larger company, if this is what you do for a living, service insurance policies.
Well, I gotta say, for those listening, we've had a couple of different businesses on the show recently that are taking an old problem and fixing it, making more efficient, and introducing a product to the market that is just, people love it because it's so simple and it's so easy, and it's not the way it's always been done, And so I applaud you for doing this. And those listening, I mean, listen to what's actually happening here. What is Marc telling us? because what he's saying is even an industry like insurance, which is a very mature industry, has a few crumbs being left around the table that they're able to clean up on. So awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride. It's been a lot of fun. Again, it's we're watching people just take scoop after scoop out of that pasta dish we left on the table at the party, and it's fun to watch.
Love it. So aside from managing customer success and things like that, what are some of the challenges that you hit that you didn't really think you'd hit as you were trying to launch this thing?
It's funny, like the biggest challenge we face is not how to scale faster, it's actually how to control our growth. Because
interesting,
we have this dual path, right? We're trying to grow we're trying to grow revenue, while at the same time we're trying to increase efficiency, the automation of customer servicing. Yeah. And
right.
if you let the growth occur too quickly before the automation has caught up, then you have no choice but to throw you have no choice but to throw bodies at the problem. I mean, again, high class problem, but
yes, a nice problem.
We're trying to figure out how to hold back the strength of the product market fit. We have agencies that have come to us and said, we want to empower our agents to write business with Coterie's technology. And we realize that if we onboard them, we might get 4,000 new agents selling Coterie insurance policies. And that will burst at the seams. We'll have to hire 10 more people because we're not there yet on automation. And kind of managing that slippery slope of customers who come to us and want to work with us, and trying to explain to them why we're slow. We just can't onboard you today. Like, give us a little more time. Like, let us catch up a little bit. on the back end. It's a fantastic problem, but again,
this is not the normal problem.
Yeah, but again, you have to catch lightning in a bottle so many times in a row to turn an idea into a startup, into a successful, sustainable company. And this is where we are now. These are the issues that we're trying to solve as we scale.
I love it. And who are you going to as a resource for this? I mean, a lot of people have a coach, or they have a consultant, or they have a peer network group. Like, what are you learning? What are you leaning into to kind of get some advice on how to deal with that problem? Because it is not a super common problem, but it is a problem that other people have dealt with. Are you reaching out to people that are helping you solve this?
Yeah, you're right. This is not a common problem, and it's not always easy to find people who've seen issues like this. And I think in general, like taking a step back when I think about just building a business and just selling. Because we didn't know Coterie or companies I've been at haven't always had this type of high class problem. Before you have this problem, you have the more traditional problem of, how do I sell the first item? How do I get a little bit of scale? Like, I'm getting doors shut in my face, or even in my role, my job is to sell the Coterie story to the capital markets and to get investors to believe in it and to invest in us. And I talk a lot, honestly, to my dad about it. He's
cool.
He's a salesman. He sold hardware on the streets of Brooklyn, and his father before him sold zippers on the streets of Brooklyn. He likes to joke that I'm a third generation peddler, and it's sales is a whole lot of getting doors shut in your face. It's not you get wins here and there and they feel great, but you walk into every meeting kind of expecting for a door to be shut in your face, and it thickens your skin a little bit. You learn how to take it, move on. That's one thing we talk a lot about. Just taking your medicine from a bad meeting, or even an okay meeting that just wasn't good enough, and moving on from it.
Yeah. Yep. No, there's so much to be said there, and it's definitely a huge part of everyone's growth journey is trying to figure out when to be happy, when to be frustrated, and just how do you recover from both those types of things and move forward and just keep moving to the next appointments, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think in this, in my role, or in people who have roles like mine, like, we weren't meant to live a simple life. I sometimes think about that like,
yes,
there were much simpler ways for us to go about, paying the mortgage and filling the hours of 9 to 5. But,
you could easily have become a third generation zipper salesman, but this is much better.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to build a business. Every day is a new challenge, and again, existential problems give way to annoying problems, give way to, I guess whatever comes next. But problems are problems, and every day you wake up and you try to solve whatever is on your plate.
I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate that. Is there someone that you'd like to give a shout out to as you've kind of gone through this journey that has helped you kind of lean into where your strengths are and build this business?
Oh man, I mean, I hate to double dip. I'm going back to my dad on this one.
Do it, man. Do it.
I mean, again, it's that journey of building something, especially through selling. Whether you're selling insurance, whether you're selling insurance policies or selling your story to capital markets, it is an uphill battle.
Right.
It's an uphill battle, and you're going to fail a lot more than you're going to succeed. And it's useful to see someone who I view as successful, who's gotten to where he wanted to be, who will tell me that he faced all the same challenges along the way, and it's normal. And what makes you get there is having the wherewithal to keep on stepping over 100%. Those challenges and having a short memory and moving forward.
I love it. Well, Marc, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from our episode today, like a lot of them. And I think for those of you listening, you've got to understand that sometimes there's huge profits to be made. There's huge growth to be made in industries that are mature if you're smart about where you want to attack and what you want to clean up. There's a lot of industries, just like what you're talking about, that have scraps that can be cleaned up that nobody wants because the commissions are so low. So fantastic job building this business. I'm assuming you got some great partners, and this sounds like just a really fun adventure you guys have been on the last few years. Good job.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure we're in for a whole lot more fun. And I'm very excited to see what the future holds for us. I think we're literally changing a paradigm in an industry that does not often see paradigm shifts. So it's fun to be Marc, fun to be part of history.
A lot of our listeners are your clients. And so who do they go to if they want to learn more about Coterie?
I mean, you can go to your insurance agent. There's a good chance that we're working with them already. You can go to CoterieInsurance.com. But yeah, if you're a small business and this is a challenge you face where you find that agents are not giving you the time of day, just understand that it's nothing personal. It's just the way that the value chain is constructed in this industry, and that's what we're trying to address.
Love it. Thank you, Marc. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with our audience, and your information, your story is fantastic, and we look forward to catching up with you sometime in the near future. Thank you.
Sounds good, Todd. Thanks for having me.
I hope you love that interview. What a great story. What a great business, and I hope that you go and check it out. Because if you don't have an insurance policy right now, you're going to need one. I mean, somewhere along the way, you're going to need a general liability policy to cover your butt in case you do something stupid or your employees do something stupid. That's usually the way it works. But regardless, get your insurance set up. Use something like Coterie. What a great product and what a great market fit they're trying to grab onto. Exciting growth. Just love hearing about those kind of stories. If you are in your own growth journey and you want to be able to talk and get advice from other people who are doing the same thing you're doing, growing and scaling, listen to these podcasts. They will fill you with lots of good ideas, lots of good experiences to let you know that it can be done. And on the next level of that, join our peer network, the Captain's Council. CaptainsCouncil.com is where you get more information about this. But what we're doing, we have sponsored this podcast because we believe firmly that every founder and every business operator, it's a lonely job. It's hard to know who to turn to get the right questions answered. If you go to your funding partners, sometimes they wonder, do you really know what you're doing? When you go to your employees, they're going to say, well, what's going on there? Companies like Coterie, companies like almost everyone that I talk to on the podcast has someone they go to, either a mentor or a group. Why not the Captain's Council, where every member becomes your peer advisory board? They're there to help you with decisions that you're having a hard time making and see problems that you're having from the eye of a founder, from the eye of an operator. Someone who's running their business is looking at your business now for a few minutes and saying, why are you doing that? Why don't you try this? So check it out at CaptainsCouncil.com. Get more information, and we look forward to having you as a member. We're so grateful for you listening to the podcast, because this is the first step, is learning that other people have problems just like you. Jump in, take a bite, whether it's just the podcast or Captain's Council. We welcome you and hope you like, share, and subscribe this episode to anyone you can, because we want to grow just like you want to grow. Thanks so much for being here.